how's it going, guys? This is Papa Joe,
I'm Chris.
and we're here with our friend Johnny Lopez, aka Bless Me Man. Welcome to the first episode of our new project called the Monolith Sessions. It's a new vlog. We're still gonna feature musicians and bands and anybody doing anything cool in El Paso. That's always been our motto. Only this time, Chris and I are teaming up, and Judy and Corey as well. So you'll be seeing a little bit from all of us throughout the episodes. But we wanted to bring Johnny in for the first episode because he's been like our good luck charm. He was on the first Middle Shop vlog, so we thought it'd be a good way to kick it off with him. Since he's like a good luck charm. So yeah, man, welcome. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, and
Thank you.
also wanted to say that we're getting back to kind of somewhat of a normal life. You know, I really don't want to give too much attention to the whole pandemic and the virus thing because we've already heard enough about it. I want to focus more on hopefully getting back to the way things used to be. You know, in a safe way though, of course. We've all been vaccinated, so we're cool. So let's go ahead and talk to Johnny, man. Talk to us. I know that we had you on the Middle Shop vlogs twice, but bring us up to date. What have you been up to?
Well, thank you guys so much for allowing me to be here. No, man, just since the last time, but man, that was a while back. So I put out the new album, Chapter 3. Super stoked because I finally put it out on vinyl. So it's been something that I've been wanting to do since I was a kid. I grew up with records, and to be able to have my own music on 12 inches. So it's very special. So finally got that out. I'm constantly writing. I have enough material to make a new record, really. I'm constantly just playing and writing. So yeah, man. I've had this idea of just doing a really heavy, dark ambient noise concept album. But I don't know if I wanted to be still Bless Me Man, because it probably won't even have any guitar. It's just going to be a lot of sound manipulation.
So I can't see you without a guitar.
Right. So
without a guitar.
yeah, so I don't know if it'll be under the Bless Me Man or just something totally different. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool. It's cool, man. Like an alter ego.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with Bless Me Man?
Oh man, so I think if you look at the artwork of the albums that I put out, I've been doing this project for a little bit over 10 years now. And I think religion has been a big visual image, I think. And our household, we grew up with religion always being there. And just kind of took that idea. I'm not religious myself, but the way I see it is that, just being alive in itself is a blessing.
Right.
Just
recognizing the fact that you're
right,
believing.
Right, and just taking, the term blessed in any way that appeals to you in any positive sense.
Okay, so you're singing for Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, man. All right. So how long have you been playing for?
Like I said, so this project itself, it's been about 10 years, but I started playing music at a relatively young age. I was 14 when I picked up the guitar. My dad played in a video in Mexico when he was younger, so the guitar was always there. So I finally picked it up, and I was like 14, 15. I got a little bit more serious about it, and joined my first band when I was in high school. Talking the late 90s. Just playing grindcore, death metal.
Oh wow!
So
grindcore.
So that's really the roots of my music. Once I started playing guitar and taking it a little bit more serious.
So grindcore to Jesus.
Yeah. It's always that.
Flip, man.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Grindmother?
Grindmother.
Have you heard?
I haven't, man.
She's like she's an elderly lady. She's somebody's grandmother.
Yeah.
And she has a grindcore band.
Yeah.
Grindmother.
It's pretty awesome, man.
She's badass, dude.
Yeah, she is.
They're like 2-minute songs.
Yeah.
But man, she gives it her all.
I think she's sponsored by Independence. I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Dude, she probably needed a depends at night. She's pretty intense, man, on stage.
Yeah. Hey, so when you release your music, like you were saying you release your vinyl, who do you release from? Do you go to like CD Baby or DJ DistroKid or something like that? Or?
So this album, the latest one, Chapter 3, I went through DistroKid. So it's pretty awesome, man, because it's up on iTunes, Amazon, like even Instagram when you put the music, Facebook.
Right.
So it's pretty awesome.
It's like now you don't even need a label; you just release everything yourself.
Yeah. I'm big on DIY, man.
Yeah.
I do everything myself.
That way you get it done the way you want it done.
Right.
So you're not waiting around for somebody to do it for you.
Right.
I like that.
And you know where your money's going.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
That's definitely cool.
Yep. So you know how much you put into it, so you know what you expect.
Yeah.
It's all on you. That's cool. I like that too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
So I know, and then like we've talked about like your previous bands. Like, what are some of the bands you were in before?
So the first band that I was in, it was myself and one of my good friends, Joseph Carrillo. He plays in Defleshed and Gutted. But we both started together. Like, he bought a drum set and he was learning to play the drums, and I was learning to play the electric guitar. So our first band was Corpse Harvest. It was a 2-man band. I mean, just strictly grindcore. We sucked, man. But we had a tape player. And
You had fun.
Yeah, man. We did a couple of demos and we were selling for like $5 at school. And just the whole gory core grind type thing we were going with. But then after that, I played with another band called Pyretic. I was with them for many years, and I think it was more also grindish, death metal, and played with them for quite a few years. Inner Sanctum. Played with them for a few years. At 19, I was singing for them. Forward He Cried. It was a pretty fun band as well. And I think the last band was The Beating of the City's Heart, which is crazy, really heavy. We're trying to go for the heaviest, darkest band in El Paso. I think we're pretty heavy.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
And so,
What do you think about the local scene? What bands you're into now? Like as long as you're in the scene, where do you think it's at now? Minus the pandemic.
I think it's awesome, man. I think there's so many bands and so much talent in El Paso. It's awesome. It seems like every week, even pre-pandemic, there was like a new band playing, and new names that I've never heard. So I think that's awesome. I think music for me is salvation.
Right.
So I think I see a lot of younger kids also forming bands, and now there's a lot of venues to play, which I think is awesome. When I first started, it was backyard shows and keggers and stuff like that, and cops would show up and they would shut it down. I remember my first the real gig was at La Tuya, Cantina La Tuya, and it was just like, holy moly, man, like a proper sound system, and we sound awesome. So I think it's great, man. There's so many bands that are up and coming, and so many bands that have made a name for themselves. No Suffer, Barbarian, Saberwolf. I mean, it's awesome that not my master. That's awesome, man.
Texas talent.
Yeah. So I mean, it's awesome, man. There's so much, and you go from the youngsters to the older dudes that have been playing music for a while.
Right.
That's great.
So do you feel like an OG now?
Yeah, kind of,
Dude,
man.
I gotta be honest with you, I'm starting to feel like an OG myself, man. So it's kind of weird. And like you're saying, like every week there's like a new band. And I was talking to a kid the other day, I think it's RGCB, and I was asking him, hey, what bands is this? Now he named all these local bands I've never heard of. And I was like, what the fuck? Dude, I'm glad you're here, man. Thanks for coming, dude.
No, thank you, man. Thank you guys.
What's the best advice you can give up and coming bands out there?
Don't give up, man. Persevere. Like I said, like this band, this project, I've been doing it for 10 years, man.
Yeah.
Just whatever your goal is, whether it's to make music, hang out, have fun, or take it to the next level, tour, record. Just don't lose that focus, man. Do it, and put your heart and soul into it. Don't do it half-assed, I think is the biggest thing.
Do you think because we're in El Paso, we're so far away from the other bigger major cities in Texas, do you think our scene here is slept on?
Yeah, I think so.
I agree with that.
I think a lot of times the shows that we do get, they happen because bands are driving through here.
Right.
So like El Paso connects the west to Central Texas and everything. So they're like, well, we're driving through there anyways. And the sad thing is that a lot of bands just drive through.
Right.
Because for whatever reason, I don't know, there's just not a venue for them, or the promoter doesn't take El Paso into consideration. But that's a big bummer, man.
It is.
I remember growing up in the '80s, like all the bands would come here. Like anybody who was on tour, they would always come. We got to see a lot of the big bands in the '80s, and we had a lot of concerts back then.
I gotta say, like when we go on tour or something, or we go play other cities in Texas, they're like, "You're from El Paso?" But yeah, they're like, "You guys have electricity? You guys have fucking buildings and stuff."
Right?
Yeah. Cool. So like we did mention that you're kind of like feeling like an OG in the music community. I don't know, like, okay, so like OG is somebody who's been in the scene for a while and they could have influence over younger musicians. So how do you think the older musicians should inspire young musicians in El Paso? You know, what are some of the things you can do? I know that like your behavior and the way you act, like your show etiquette and all that stuff goes a long way. Because the kids are watching you. But what else can be done to help them out? Without making it seem like if the older guys are kind of just like brushing the younger kids away.
Well, I think just kind of being there, man. If someone comes up to you, giving them advice and just tell them how it is. You know, a lot of bands have struggled to get to one point where it's it's not going to happen, but from one day to another, or 1 week to another, and just put in the work. I think just showing support. Don't be a dick.
Exactly.
You know,
the best way to do it.
Yeah, man. And just again, tell them not to give up, man. If that's something that they want to do, just keep it going. And I think always being professional. I think is big.
It's important
Because if you're showing up to gigs wasted, or not setting up on time, or just being an asshole.
Like I really don't believe in like being like overbearing or like coddling and stuff like that. But it is important to be careful how you treat younger musicians, because one wrong thing you say to them could it can make them lose their inspiration, and they might even quit music.
Right.
Like a lot of kids in the scene reach out to me for different reasons, and some of them have told me, this guy told me this, and it really bummed me out, and now I just want to quit. Because it makes me wonder if I'm even good enough, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think negativity, man, should be kept away from young musicians, and just give them a chance to grow with their music, like you had the chance to grow with yours,
Right.
I think that's something that's not talked about, man.
Right. Yeah.
Without the younger musicians, we won't have a scene.
Yeah, definitely. I agree, man. And I think maybe some of us older OGs, it might be intimidating, man. Some of these kids are amazing musicians.
Yep.
Yeah, but man, I think for me at least, the merrier, the more love, man. The more we can represent El Paso as a whole. It's not just me. It's not just you. We're all. It's all of us together.
Right.
One scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. One band does not make a scene. It takes it takes a village, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if you just go to shows, if you're a fan, you're part of the scene too.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm also a total believer, like, man, if you're a headlining band or this band's opening up for you, hey man, go get there early and watch all the bands that are opening up, man. Like, support.
Yeah,
Stay there.
They're supporting you, so support them.
Yeah. That's one thing I remember. Even when I was younger, a lot of bands just kind of be there 5 minutes before their set. They play and they book you, man. It's just,
Yeah, I can understand, like, if you work, like, we have a friend, his name is Hobo, he's in Run Disgust. That kid, he'll go perform at a show during his lunch hour.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dedication.
He'll get a lunch break and he'll go and he'll get on stage and kill it and then go back to work. I understand that. If you have to go work, then there's no reason for people to give you shit about that.
Right.
But if you're leaving early just because you don't want to stick around, then that's on you.
Right.
Yeah.
But it does reflect poorly on you and then your band too.
Exactly.
People notice that stuff, man.
They do.
Yeah.
Don't be a diva.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so far, don't be a dick and don't be a diva. This list will grow. So I think that's important.
Yeah, definitely.
And like also like the way venues treat the bands too, man. Like this, there's like a good example. I'm not gonna name names, but like there are bands that like already on the road, they've played big shows in big cities, but then when they come back here, they just don't get the respect that they deserve. They're out there spreading their their music and they're working hard and you know it's all DIY. So when they come back home, reward them, man. You know, don't make them feel like the work they're putting in is for nothing. That's just my opinion. I'm speaking for myself. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
Well, how do you feel about it?
No, it's true, man. It kind of sucks that a lot of bands do have like these huge fan bases out of El Paso, and then when they come here or they play here, it's like nothing. It's just like, oh, that's something that I've always, pondered on. I was like, why? What is it in El Paso? Is it that people just don't want you to succeed?
Is that the envy or
I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's hard to put your finger on it because who knows?
Right.
I mean, it's not hard, man. If you want to do this, like, there's so much more out there outside of El Paso. You know, if you want to be a big bad rock star, man, make billions of dollars, like, you're not going to do it by opening up for fucking Five Finger Death Punch or something in El Paso, Texas, dude. It's just not going to happen. You got to get out there on the road, and you have to promote your band and support other bands, man. I mean, but I could go on all day about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could too, man. So, gosh, man. So, what do you mind talking about what you do for a living, or?
No, not at all, man.
Go ahead, man.
So I'm an educator. I'm a teacher. I work at a high school. I'm a special education teacher. It's what I've devoted myself for the past 11 years. It's one of my other passions, other than music, is helping those with needs. The first 3 years I worked in the life skills classroom, so it's like students with cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, autism, anything, you name it. These past 7 years, I was given the opportunity to open up this new program, and it's working strictly with individuals with autism. And it's been awesome. It's been amazing. I can't believe it's already 7 years. It's been great because now I oftentimes I combine both of my passions in my classroom, where I'm teaching and helping these young kids, but I also bring in my guitar and music and my passion and love for music. And I mean, I think it's made a huge impact in a lot of my students.
Right.
So it's been awesome, man. I've taught, or at least I've tried to teach many kids how to play guitar as an incentive. Hey, if you do well, don't do this, don't do that. We'll take a day, a class period, and I'll show you the basics of guitars. And some have stuck with it after they graduate. They're doing their own thing with music, which to me I think is awesome.
It is awesome. It's a very honorable profession.
Yeah.
I thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And also, just last week was National Teachers
Yeah.
Teacher Appreciation Week, right?
Yeah.
So hey, man,
Yeah. Thanks, man.
kudos to Johnny and what he does, like a daytime Johnny.
Daytime Johnny, yeah. Johnny without the hat.
Jerry the Wind, daytime Johnny, yeah. And it was cool because like my kids went to the high school where Johnny works, so sometimes I'd see him there in the hallway. Hey.
Yeah.
It was cool to see him there, man.
Dude, how many schools? Okay, so I'm from Dallas, and what I've noticed about El Paso when I moved here, there's like a school at every corner. How many fucking schools are here in El Paso?
You know what? You'd be surprised how a bunch of them are being shut down.
Really?
Because there's not enough attendance and not enough kids.
I
The
believe
older
it.
neighborhoods.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
more in the older neighborhoods.
Like the school where I went to elementary school, it's not a school anymore. They're using it for, one of the departments of the district is using it for
Wow.
administrative purposes, but I don't think their kids are right now. But pretty soon it's gonna close for good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's like the east side that's growing, the far east.
Yeah, the lower valley is where a lot of schools are being
Yeah,
closed.
because I think all those kids are already grown up, and there's no more space to build new homes or new families.
Right.
What's that town you grew up in?
East side, far east side.
Oh.
Up there by Polvos, Montana Vista.
Oh yeah.
Far east side.
Like towards the annex, the jailhouse annex.
Yeah, past that.
Okay. Yeah, they have great bologna sandwiches there, people.
Is that white or wheat?
It's hard.
I grew up in Lower Valley. In the Lower Valley.
In Dallas, you said.
Yeah, from Dallas, Texas. Well, I'm from Corsicana, but no one knows where that's at, so I just say Dallas.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, if you're from Denton or Arlington, it's just
Yeah,
Dallas.
it's just Dallas. Yeah.
The Metroplex.
So what bands are you listening to now?
Oh, damn, man. Let's see, what have I think right now there's this, I think they call themselves dark wave, but they're called soft kill. Like rock, like some synthesizers. I guess like newer bands that sound like The Cure, shit like that.
Okay.
So really, really cool band. For a long time, I wasn't listening to Cannibal Corpse. I think Corpse Grinder's awesome, but I don't like his vocals.
Yeah.
But the new album is fucking great, man.
Yeah.
I said I'm gonna give it a shot, and I was like, holy damn, like it's good. So the new Cannibal, Godspeed You Black Emperor put out their new album a few weeks ago, and that's just fuck, man, those are my goals right there. I wish I could sound like them.
What do you think of the band Ghost?
Ghost, I love Ghost, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. I remember the first time I heard him, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I couldn't understand him, but I liked it, and I just kept on listening to him, and I dig it, man. I mean, I like the theatrics that they do, and I think they're so over the top, and I think they don't take themselves serious. And
I don't
think
think
that's
so
awesome.
either. Yeah, I think they're kind of like too radio-y for me.
Yeah.
They're made for radio, man.
Yeah.
It's a poppy.
Yeah, poppy, yeah. Gimmicky.
Yeah, I think they have a good gimmick. They're using that to their advantage.
Yeah.
And then like the kids, they eat that shit up too. So.
Yeah.
Judy and I got to see him in the studio a couple of years ago. I mean, it was pretty entertaining. It was cool. Got to meet them and it was cool.
Oh, when they came down to KLAQ, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that.
And then we saw them open for Iron Maiden in Albuquerque, and it's entertaining, you know.
That's what reminded me of like a modern day like power rock band or power metal band.
Yeah.
I think there's hell in the 80s.
Yeah. What do you think metal and rock is at now? Do you think it's making a comeback? Do you think it's dead, or what do you think?
Oh fuck, man! I don't know, dude. I don't even know what like modern metal is right now. I think the majority of the metal that I listen to is very extreme, and I think from what I see, I think a lot of the younger kids are kind of embracing it. You know, the whole like death metal, black metal,
Metalcore, deathcore.
Yeah, like the heavier spectrum
Black
of it.
metal.
Right.
To me, I think is awesome. And that's what I grew up. That's mostly what I listen to.
Yeah, I just recently got into black metal like this past year, and I never listened to it before, but now fuck, I love it, man. Like
Yeah.
Dark Funeral, dude, I fucking love it.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Yeah. Dark Funeral is fucking awesome. Those first two records they put out are whew, great riffs, man.
Yeah, they
great
are, man.
riffs.
It's like a groovy, I don't know how to explain it. It's like groovy black metal.
Yeah.
And Latte, I love those things.
Are you into any like female-fronted metal bands? Dude, there's some female vocalists out there who can scream like
Yeah. Well,
brutal as fuck, man.
you know, I used to be a big fan of Walter Jericho back like when they were like strictly hardcore. Man, we're talking about like the 90s, I think. But yeah, I remember I saw this like YouTube thing, like some of the heaviest woman-fronted bands, and there were some that were doing like slam, and I was like, holy fuck, man, they sound deeper than I do. those gutturals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, there's some. I tell you, some really brutal screamers out there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, there's this band called Spirit Box. They're more, I think they're just like more metalcore. But they have a female vocalist, and damn,
It's it. Yeah, listen, I gotta check them out.
Spirit Box.
excellent, Spirit Box. You know, there used to be a band called I Wrestled a Bear once,
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
So, the vocalist and the guitarist, they're married. They started their own band,
Mhm.
Spirit Box, and
Oh, is that her?
yeah,
We were just talking about her not so long ago.
yeah.
So that's cool, man.
It's amazing.
Or was that me?
Yeah.
We're talking about her.
I think we're talking about it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've been checking out their stuff, and man, she really is like an impression on you.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, it's just so smooth. You know, she'll transition from screaming to singing,
Yeah.
like, so effortless. But yeah. Hey, so one thing we never really talked about before with musicians is something that's really important, and that's food. Because like Judy and I are like big time foodies, man. We had the pleasure of having some wings with Johnny this week. You know, I also want to mention before you finish the episode that Judy and I have been like, well, it's mainly me. I've been wanting to make a music video for somebody for a long time now. But I'm not a videographer, but luckily I have Judy because she's really good at filming. She has the excellent trigger finger. So we met with Johnny because we discussed making the first music video for him. So we'll be filming at the beginning of June, and we're fucking excited as hell, man. We're stoked.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you guys, man.
And we'll see what happens. We have some really cool ideas. We have some cool locations in mind already. And once you hear the song, like all the creative juices start flowing, and you get like really involved in the whole thing. And I can't wait, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too, man. You put it right, man. Fucking stoked. Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it, man.
Right.
Eloquently, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah. It's gonna be awesome, man. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that I get to do it with Mama Judy by my side.
That's love right there, man.
Is there gonna be like strippers doing their claps and stuff like or that or no? No?
That's what I brought to the table. I said,
Okay.
there's no strippers,
We shot it down.
no video.
No?
All right.
You know, like, cause my mom's gonna watch it. Okay, but like food. So, like, what is some of your go-to food like after a show, like after you play? Other than like Whataburger, cause that's.
Well, typically, man, food will be a nice stout or something. Probably it's drink some beers. But I don't know, man. That's a very good question. I don't know if I go out eating afterwards. I think I'm more.
You eat
Drink.
before you go. Oh,
Yeah. I'll definitely eat before, and then just spend the rest of the night drinking, celebrating.
So, fun fact. I don't know. Are you okay with mentioning the fact that you don't eat?
Yeah, of course.
You don't,
man,
he doesn't
yeah.
eat. Are you a vegetarian or vegan?
Vegetarian, I would say vegan, like 95% of the time. Every time, I had that ranch with my cauliflower wings.
Oh yeah.
But if I can avoid the dairy, the cheese, I do.
That's crazy. Even like dairy and cheese, huh?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because if you trace it back to where it all comes from, it's not a good thing the way they treat animals and stuff. So I totally get that.
Right.
I eat all animals. Well, there's some I don't eat, but
Yeah, I do have my standards.
right.
I
I don't
think
eat a
that-
skunk. I'm not eating a skunk.
The craziest thing I've ever eaten is like a fried gator.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I had that.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, I tried snake, rabbit. What else?
That was like
Yeah.
prior before your.
Yeah, this is when I was a kid. Like my dad, like we were saying, like I grew up way out there in the desert. There'd be snakes. Just we'd get out and they'd be slithering away,
Yeah.
and they would kill them, cook them up, and try
That's
them out.
crazy, man.
Yeah. Liver was always something we always ate. Tongue, cow tongue.
It's like that show Naked and Afraid, where you just eat whatever you find out there.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
No.
They put a guy and a girl out in the fucking wilderness in some random places in the world, naked. They have to be out there for I forget how long, like 2 weeks I think or something like that, and they just have to survive. They give them they let them choose one tool to take with them, and that's all they get.
That's
So
awesome,
they have to
man.
live off
What
the
a
fat of the
concept.
land.
Yeah. Wow.
Sometimes they're in the jungle, sometimes they're in the desert, and so the first thing they do, of course, like they drop them off there. They're butt naked, so that they always like find stuff to make clothes with. Get some leaves and shit.
Yeah,
Some
man, I gotta check
coconuts.
that out. Yeah.
Naked and Afraid. It's crazy.
Naked and afraid.
So I can see like somebody having that skill to kill a snake and eat it just to survive, or ants, or like they eat, whatever they can find. Or else, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, man.
There's no drive-throughs out there.
Right. Yeah, man, that's something I've always said that, if it got to the point where I had to eat meat to survive, like would I? And I don't know, man. I can't answer that. At least right now, I don't know if I would. I don't know.
You'd find berries or something.
Right. Or fucking
The wild berries.
Yeah.
What was that movie where the dude ate the wrong kind of berries and he ended up dying? I forgot. It's like some dude out there in the wilderness too, in a van.
I remember that with Ralph in The Simpsons. Where he says that it tastes like burning.
Cool. You got any after show munchies, Chris?
I'm usually too drunk to eat, so I usually just like pass out. I try to eat before, but I try to eat something light. Like maybe some sushi or I don't know, man. What else do I eat? Young babies. I don't know, man. Something like that. So,
Right.
They're light. They're light.
Yeah, they are, man. Before I became a vegetarian,
Yeah.
I was big on the babies, man. Yeah.
A nice sauteed baby.
That's too salty, man. Gotta watch my sodium intake. It's awesome, yeah. And like one of our favorite things to do is always like meeting with a musician, and having just food, man, and just talking, and it's always a good time, man.
Right.
You get to like bond on a different level.
Right.
Yeah.
Like how they say like breaking bread
Right.
together. So that's like one of my Junior and I's favorite things to do. But we took a year off from that. But we can do it again, so yeah, we're excited.
Definitely, man.
What about okay, so this is a very touchy subject, man. But what about the politics in local music? There's a lot of people who feed into it. There's a lot of people who are triggered by it, and then there's a lot of smart people who just stay away from it, regardless of what people are saying.
Right.
You know, and like over the years, for me, like I've learned that if you don't give attention to it, it'll just go away. You know, people still keep talking no matter what you do, man, regardless.
Right. Yeah, man. No, I think, and, you know, I'm just speaking, you know, my own opinion here is, honestly, I don't give a fuck, man. I don't care what people say.
Plus, you're
or
well
think.
liked, Johnny. So
I hope so, man. I don't care, man. I'm not gonna feed into their negativity and into their bullshit. And you know me, man. I'm as hippie as it sounds, but I'm all about that peace and love, man. I want to radiate that positivity, either with my social awkwardness or with my music, or you know, just talking to someone. And you know, people just have told me some fucking horrible shit, and I'm just like, I'm sorry you feel that way, dude.
Right.
I don't know if I did something to piss you off, but.
But you know what? Somebody told me last night, man. You're always no matter how good you are, man. You're always a bad guy to somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
you're a bad guy in somebody's story.
Yeah, you know, and like Joe was saying, man. Like that's something I learned. Just don't feed into it. Just ignore it, and hopefully it goes away. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
don't feed into it.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Because you know, honestly, they're just looking for a reaction from you, man.
Right.
And then that's when they have you,
Right.
because you reacted and they get off on that for some weird reason.
Right, yeah.
It's better just to pretend it didn't even happen and just go along,
Yeah.
I agree, man. Yeah, just
living your life. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Don't give them that
Yeah,
satisfaction.
you should use that energy for something positive.
There you go.
Exactly.
Inspire somebody, talk to somebody who could need help and use your help or whatever. You know,
Definitely, man.
that's how I see it. And I think it's also like important to like keep mentoring in mind, man. Especially with I always think about younger musicians because my son was in them. You know, like everybody. I've said this so many times. My son and Judy's daughter were musicians in the local scene when they were younger. And I know that the stuff that I did for my son and his bands helped them a lot, you know, and that was a really good fulfilling feeling for me. And you could share your knowledge and your experience with other kids too.
Right.
So, yeah, it's like you said, it's about being positive.
Yeah, no, dude, and you know, I'm sure on behalf of everyone in El Paso, man, thank you, dude, for everything that you do. You know, we were talking about the younger kids and the younger generations of bands, and I'm sure they appreciate you so much, dude. I mean, I'm sure when we were younger, we would have had someone like you in the scene, dude. Fuck, man.
If I would have known somebody who played guitar when I was young, they could have like showed me more. Maybe could have been good at it. But all I ever did was play in my room along to cassettes, Iron Maiden and stuff, you know.
Yeah, man. So no, thank you, man. Thank you, brother.
We're just having fun, man.
Appreciate
That's
it.
why we do these things, because for us it's fun. And you know, see if we can help people along the way.
Exactly.
You are,
Exactly.
man. You guys are.
Hey, it takes a village, man. It
Yep.
takes a village.
It sure does. So I mean, if you get a chance to help somebody, do it, man. Don't hesitate. You know, I know a lot of people struggle nowadays with like a lot of like anxiety issues and stuff like that, and sometimes that keeps people. It prevents people from talking to other people. Maybe you'll be there for somebody that you didn't even know you were going to be there for. You know, a lot of times people have told me, "Oh, I remember you told me this. You told me to travel when I had the chance to travel." And like younger kids are not traveling the world now, so you never know what you're gonna say and what's gonna stick. You know.
Right.
Yeah. You know, our words are so powerful, man. You know, oftentimes people just really focus on your actions, and they don't realize that our words are so fucking as powerful as our actions.
Right.
So yeah, I agree, man. We got to be careful with what we say, and hopefully we're saying the right things to inspire.
Yeah, I know that people talk a lot about like influencers, like on YouTube and social media and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know what defines an influencer. I think everybody has a power to influence somebody.
Right.
So, and it's really easy to just to be an asshole and start talking shit to people, man.
Right.
That's the trick right there, is just to try to stay away from it, man. I know sometimes it's hard, because trust me, I know. But
Well, Johnny, do you consider yourself an influencer?
I don't think so, man. I'm not an influencer. I just try to be a friend. I just try to be a good friend to people, man. It's awesome. Because that shit makes me happy, man. You know?
Yeah. I don't consider myself one either because my boobs aren't big enough. So yeah, so I can't be one either. I look terrible in a bikini.
A mankini.
Oh man. So what else do you like to do, man? What's your hobbies? Do you like to ride motorcycles, or do you like to skydive, or stay up past midnight or something? Like, what do you like to do, man?
skydive is something I definitely want to do
Yeah.
at some point. But other than music, hanging out with my daughter, I love running, yoga, painting, cooking. So, yeah, man, it's kind of what I do, and I think what really the thing I do the most is listen to music, listen to records. And, yeah, that's probably what I do the most.
Well, for the ladies out there, or men, this is 2021, we're not judging. Are you single?
No,
Not single.
I've got a
Off the market.
beautiful girlfriend, yeah, so.
Awesome. Awesome.
No,
Congratulations.
no swiping right or I don't know. You swipe right or swipe left?
I don't know.
That
Man.
shit works. What about like is anybody like in your family musically or creatively inclined?
Yeah, so I'm the youngest of three. We've got two older brothers, and when I was in my 20s, we had a band, the three of us. I played lead guitar. My middle brother Alex played the drums, and our oldest brother played. Sometimes either play the bass or rhythm guitar and sing. So yeah, and I think this stems from my father. Music was always a big thing in our house.
Mm-hmm.
Music was always playing. My dad would sometimes get his guitar and play a couple chords, and yeah, so we would always play music on our own, but when we were a little bit older, it's like, fuck it, man, let's make our own band. So we had a cover band, had a couple originals.
What? Cool.
Yeah.
How did it? We never knew about this. We never asked.
Yeah, it's one of the few like non-metal or heavy. We would play like Bush, U2, Incubus, Coldplay, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And even crazier, man. When I was I think a senior in high school, I played in a Spanish rock band, and we started off as a cover band as well. And they're doing the rock en español, Maná. Yeah. And it was weird, man, because you had these three like little Vesa looking good, and then you had me there with my like DSI T-shirt and my chain all in black and just looking all scary, But playing these rock songs, these Spanish rock songs. But yeah, and the way I saw it was like, I perfected the tremolo picking in this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is going to make me a better guitar
It's all good
player.
experience, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Cool. So this is the last segment of the first Monolith session. I want to thank Johnny for coming and hanging out with us.
Thank you.
It's good to be back. Like, I don't know, man. I was kind of nervous. I was like, am I still gonna be able to talk? Because when we did our first project, like I was so nervous to be in front of a camera.
Yeah.
And that shit kind of just like goes away. It's weird, man.
Right.
So I don't know, like, do you get nervous like in front of cameras and stuff?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't tell. Yeah, we've had some guests who, like their lips are like quivering and shit.
You're not gonna die.
You'll be fine, man. It's gonna be over and you're gonna like it. But yeah, I mean, thank you so much for being our first guest.
Thank you.
It's a good luck charm. You need a rest. I'm gonna call it good luck charm.
Cool. We'll do, man. It'll be based off of this experience.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
And want to thank Chris also and Corey for welcoming us into their humble abode. We forgot to mention we're chilling at
Trashies.
Trashies, man.
Yeah. We're not gonna leave here naked though. No one's leaving here naked. No one's drunk yet.
We're not trashed either. We're trying to recover from the trashing from last night. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we'll get a nice, strong following for this new project. We're excited about it. And also, we'll be hitting you guys up. So, be patient. We want to get to as many people as possible. But we'll be contacting our next guests.
Right. It doesn't have to be just bands. It could be artists. It could be tattoo artists. It could be photographers. It could be exotic dancers. It could be ballerinas. Whatever, man. But Johnny, before we leave, is there anything you want to say to everybody?
Well, thank you guys so much for allowing me to be the first guest, the Lucky Charm. But no, if you guys want to check out the band Bless Me Man, you guys can hit me up on Instagram, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, pretty much in all the streaming platforms, iTunes, Amazon, all that good stuff. So it's a one-man post-rock band from El Paso. So if you guys are into that, or you guys want to listen to something a little different, check it out. Bless Me Man.
Nice. Awesome, thank you, man. And you guys, do you mind if we bring our audience up?
No.
tell us to come say hi? The people behind the camera? No?
Wait, I think we had a question from the audience, right?
Do we have a question from the audience? Yes, you. Yes, you, young man.
Yes. Yes. So you mentioned earlier you had a daughter, right?
Yes.
How old is she, and does she play any music?
So she's 8 years old. She'll be 9 next month. So I'm hoping that she picks something up. I mean, she's got so many different instruments at home. At first, she was really into the drums, but I think that's just all toddlers and just banging on things.
Yeah.
Right.
But she's got a guitar, ukulele, keyboard. Right now, she's really into singing. So we, for the past 2 years for Christmas, what we do is we make our own Christmas songs, and she sings them, and I record all the music, and that's kind of our gift to,
Cool,
to
man.
Nice.
grandparents and all that. So she's definitely very involved in the music, and when I'm recording, I have her in there. I've even had her use some of her, when she first started vocalizing, some samples in some of my songs. So yeah, I mean, it's all there. You know, she likes to sing. She likes to play the ukulele right now. So I'm teaching her a couple songs. But I don't want to be that. I don't want to force her to pick something up, because then I think she'll lose.
Yeah.
It'll turn from like I want to like fuck, I have to. Yeah, I don't want that. You know, I want her. I'm hoping that she picks something up. Even
Do you record your own music?
I did. Chapter 3, I went to a studio with Demo, but prior to that, yeah, I recorded everything myself there at home.
Nice.
So
That's cool, man. DIY. That's
very,
nice.
very DIY, man. I'm all about that.
So no shout outs or anything? Let's say hi to your family or
Yo, thank you.
Cool.
Thank you all, everyone.
Happy Mother's Day too to all the
yeah.
beautiful
Happy
moms out there.
Mother's Day.
Yes.
Yes.
Today is Mother's Day Eve, so we want to acknowledge all the awesome mamas.
Yes. It's
And
not
daddies
easy
for
job.
mamas.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's gonna wrap it up for episode 1 of the Monolith sessions. It's kind of like a tongue twister, man, but we'll get the hang of it.
I know the name.
So,
I'm on with the
I
session.
want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you next time on the Monolith sessions.